Okay. Good morning and good afternoon or good evening, people in Tanzania. Welcome to the December general meeting. Today is December 10, 2022, and it's our last general meeting. And so this is a meeting that we always try to catch up what we have done for the whole year and plan for the next year. And this is the time also we try to recruit people to join different projects. So then when we start the year, at least everybody knows what they need to do. And if they choose, then they can participate. Or if there's any opportunity to introduce something new, then you bring it to the table and then we can discuss and see what is feasibility of that project and then see how we can execute for the rest of the year. We did have the leadership meeting last week, and majority of the information was discussed over there. So this has been known already for our Qhsc leadership members that these are the things that we might be focusing for the coming year. And as a member or friend of Qhsc, you're welcome to join becoming active, and we tell you a few processes that we can join to be a member, or can continue being a Qhsc friend and participate equally in the whole of the organization mission for this coming year. So, I mean, everybody knows who I am. So today I'm on different locations, so I'm missing my logo, but it's okay. So welcome, and it's Saturday. I know for people in the US, it's very early in the morning, and some people are trying to be awake, but our friends in Tanzania, so this is in the afternoon. When we did change this time, because people from Tanzania were saying, if we do at 11 over there, it's like almost 7 o'clock at night, and it's weekend, so people are running back and forth. So it's hard to join the meeting at that time because either the dinner time or you have to go around with the family members. So we decided to put it a little bit early, so we can give them at least maybe an hour or so of the meeting, and then for them to join so they can actively participate. So we try that, and thanks for Ms. Hadija and Leah. I can see she's coming in, joining us. So thank you very much. So you can give us at least the perspective from Tanzania. Okay, so I'm gonna welcome the members and friends. Mr. Branca was kicked out. Member and friends, just say hi quick and then we can start. On my left is Miss Bree.
Hi, my name is Bree. What else?
Oh, just introduce yourself. Bree, you went to Tanzania.
Oh, yes, I went to Tanzania for the first time this year. It was good. I'm going again.
Okay, good. We're going to hold you to that. Ms. Valentine?
Hello, everyone. My name is Valentine, and I'm a new registered nurse, and I'm also a Qhsc secretary.
Yes. And brand new mother from the cute babies who she's hiding right now. Mr. DJ?
Hi.
Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
How is everyone?
Everybody's good. Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Prong?
Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm Mr. Farouk. Happy to see you, Miss Khadija, long time. I'm the assistant to Dr. Gaboni Qhsc, sometimes called the vice president. And happy to see everybody this morning. Habari za subuhi. Or habari za jioni.
Yes, jioni, yes. Thank you. Ms. Leah, hi. Oh, you don't have a mic. Leah, huna mic. Okay, while she's getting situated, Ms. Christine, you wanna go ahead?
Excuse me, I don't have a voice this morning.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. My name is Kristen. I've been to Tanzania 3 times, and I totally love Tanzania. So I will be back as many times as I can. Once I get my first back.
Okay. No, that's fine.
We're gonna say that's 3.5 times.
3.5.
Yeah, because she's almost there again.
Oh, right. Okay. Yes, 3.5.
Yes, we're gonna make it reality to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 every time. So that's good. And we appreciate you, Mrs. Christine Behuniak, for keep coming back and keep providing feedback so we can continue growing on this medical mission. Because we have seen when we started with the first group, when we went to 2019, and then so you can see how it's evolving and how we can improve and make it better. So thank you for keep coming back. And thank you for recruiting other people.
As many as I can.
Yes, no, thank you. Okay, I know when Miss Leah come back and then, oops, there she is. I hope she's audio.
Yeah.
And then she can introduce herself. No, not yet. Okay, so I am gonna share my screen, and then when she's able, then we can do that. Okay, so can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Okay, so the agenda for today, I'm hoping it's not going to be that long so we can catch up and just be aware of what is going on. We have sent so many videos already, so if there's specific area that for people who either will be watching this video or listening, if there's area that you're interested in for the medical mission, just there's a lot of video that you can just Google Dr. Gaboni Qhsc in the YouTube, and you should be able to see all the videos that we created. And we still need to make more, but there are a lot of videos that just itemize what projects, individual projects we did, and just to give you an idea of what exactly the organization has been doing for the past medical mission. So the meeting today, we're just covering Qhsc friends, members, and a membership, an upcoming medical mission recruitment process. So we're gonna kind of clean up the recruitment process to make sure that whoever individuals who are coming to the medical mission, they are aware of that it is a medical mission and not a vacation. And then we have Qhsc information and profile. So we do need to grow our organization and brand. And so there's so many things that we need to do to be able to accomplish that. And then, of course, what are we planning to do for this coming medical mission? So some projects you will see they're repeating themselves, and there's something that is new just because there are people who wants to be able to participate and contribute from their expertise and interests. So as long as it's aligned with the medical mission and the vision of the organization, definitely those projects are welcome. And then, of course, the possible US volunteering opportunities. So we are still working on it, and we are trying to identify areas that we can do, especially starting with the Palm Beach County. And then we can spread wherever we can when the resources comes available, and if there's an opportunity that we can engage in, definitely. So there's like a lot of stuff going on. Okay, so to start with, Qhsc friends and members. So we're still working on explanation of who is Qhsc friends and who is Qhsc members, and what do you need to do in order to join any of those two. So just a simple definition for that. So Qhsc friend is the friend of Qhsc who still can participate in medical mission, can join to do activities either here or in Tanzania, can volunteer, can donate, can spread the word and share with everybody else without paying a membership or becoming an active member of making the contribution standpoint. So, and the Qhsc member can do all those stuff, including paying membership. So when you pay a membership, you have an added advantages of, we're gonna send those information within this month when that document is ready. But anyway, Qhsc member is gonna be, can volunteer, can participate, or can even be nominated to be one of the leader in any level of the organization can go and represent QHSC, like if there's any activity that need to be presented, or if meetings or conferences, if we get to that opportunity to go and do the presentation of the organization, then that person has the opportunity to do that. And when we get the grants and the organization has raised enough money to support the medical mission, so that QHSC member has an opportunity to get either some of expenses paid if we get the grants that covers the medical mission in supporting the members. So those are an added, and of course they're going to have a certificate. So people who are have their professional jobs and then they need to be belonging to a professional organization, then QHSC is one of them. So then they will get a little certificate and they can show annual membership at the workplace. And then so you can say, I participate and I'm a member of that, but and then you get a little certificate. So those are the things that you just stay tuned. We're going to probably send that information within this month. And then by January 1st, we're going to start encouraging. So I know sometimes people start getting nervous because they're thinking, oh, what happens if I don't have the money? Which is okay. You can continue being QHSC friend and then continue participating. The only thing that I said, I mean, like if you're not a member is if you choose to go to the medical mission and there's money probably supporting people who are already members, so then you have to pay, let's say, accommodations, I don't know, I'm just giving an example, $500. So, and we get the grant that support volunteers who are QHSC members who are going over there. So they will get that discount, the $500. And if you're not a member, you're not going to get that. You have to pay out of pocket. So those are the just small differences. And we're trying to encourage people who are passionate and to join the medical QHSC and then be actively member to participate and represent. And you do have some also benefits, like if you have any question about the records, how the QHSC is functioning. So all those background information you can get as long as you are a member, because you are paid into, and that means you have some benefit to ask those questions. If you're not a QHSC member, you don't have those access or support that way. So from the leadership, we have discussed that the $75 is for all the general members. And then if you're a student, so you can pay $50. You can pay in one installment, or you can pay in 3 or 2, whatever you can. So that means if you are saying, okay, I'm going to be a member in January 1st, that's an example. So you have up to March 31st to pay that $75. So you're not going to be counted as a member until the $75 has been paid or $50 has been paid. So let's say you say, oh, the first month, January, I have $25. Okay. And then so in February 1st, I have another 25. So you still have 50 and you're supposed to pay 75. You're still not counting as a member until whatever you finish that last installment. Let's say now you're joining in June, because by then you already finished that initial membership. So if you're joining in June, you have at least 2 months to be able to do the same thing. So I said June 1st, you're joining. Okay, great. So if you finish your payment by June 30th, then yeah, you're full members. And then you start getting those benefits as anybody else who is in a membership list. And then so that is just, those membership contribution does help to support the organization, give you those access. And we are working on trying to find if you can get a t-shirt. So something that it has QHSC, proudly member of QHSC. So when we have all these volunteers activities, you can go and help us to spread the word out there. So they need to know QHSC is represented in the community. And then so when you join up, you're going to get a regular t-shirt that explain that part. So that t-shirt does not have a year. So you can wear that for the longest time for that t-shirt can withstand. And we're going to try to find material that can last a little bit longer than just 1 year. So at least you can have something to wear when we need to do all those activities, especially when we start doing activities here in the United States. Because if it's the medical mission, usually we do have a t-shirt for the medical mission. And then I will show you in a few minutes what we have specifically for the, like it's going to be a more revised and improved logo that is going to be on those t-shirts. And we'll give you more detail for that part. Okay, so the second part for that QHSC friend and members, I asked Dr. Msambichaka and Mr. Siakabe to write those criteria. What I was just giving you the difference between friends and members, and then what are the benefits they're going to get. So they are writing at the document. So as soon as you declare that I want to be a member, so then we can give you that information. So you have that in front of you to make an informed decision that you do want to be a member. For the people in Tanzania, we are going to revise that part and then put the amount of the contribution according to what related to the NGO from Tanzania, because you'll be joining through the NGO from Tanzania, but is a sister NGO, which is connected to this Qhsc. So still you can have the same rights as, sorry, similar rights to the people who are members, but related to Tanzania. So we'll give you more detail for that part. Because we do want to have people who are Qhsc members to the NGO side, and then so we will itemize also your benefit based on the Tanzanian side. Okay, we already discussed about the timeline. So hopefully if you have any questions, let know. And of course, anytime you declare this, we are going to give you more information. Okay, so any question about that? Sorry, any questions? Anybody? Somebody? No? You guys can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry, I didn't want to be talking to myself. Okay, number 2. So we are going to have recruitment process. So this is specific for medical mission. So there's some certain things that we want to make sure, or we learned from the previous mission, especially the last one, because we had a huge number, almost 47 volunteers. So there's certain things that we want to make sure we include on the process. So when you declare your intent to join the medical mission, we have to go through the process to say, okay, I want to be doing this, I'm going to be doing that part, and this is what is expectation, and this is what we need to meet before you can go. And this is what we're going to do when we get there. And once we get there, we do those things specifically for the medical mission. And we don't want people to go with a false hope of saying, oh yeah, I'm going on vacation. So when we get there, I want to do it in 2 days. And then the rest of the 6 days, I want to go shopping. We don't want to do that part. So we are working on it. Miss Valentine's Dantes, he's working on this process. And once it's complete, then I said from starting in January, when we start recruiting, then you're going to have that. But and of course, we're going to expect people to do some, watch some videos from our previous volunteers who have gone there and what their expectations or assumption before they went there and what the expectation and assumption after they came back from the medical mission. So at least if you are new, then you have resources. You can call them or text them or ask them more questions to make sure you clearly understand before you commit. Because remember, people are giving money for their own money. So we want to make sure whatever you are paying to, then you get what you expect to get, versus if you get there and you start asking, okay, I did not know that. One of the things that we are going to require, if you declare you want to join the meeting, we're going to expect you to mandatory attend probably a couple of meetings to make sure you understand what the expectation of that medical mission. Because we just learned from the previous mission that people got there and they did not even know the schedule because they did not attend any of the meeting or watch the video. So we don't want people going there without knowing the extent of the mission. And so we want to make sure you're informed and then you can get the best experience also. Ms. Valentine, do you want to add anything there about the process? Ms. Valentine? Oh, probably she's not there. It's okay. Mr. Pranka, do you have anything to add for the process?
Yes, I was gonna ask Valentine a question, but I'll wait till she gets back. But I know that I don't know if it was her and Catherine, but I know that they generated a bunch of questions. I put them on a Word document and I sent them to her, but I'm not sure if she received them or not. But we do have a I forgot how many questions they generated, but they did have a large pool of questions for volunteers. So, that will include an interview process, like you said, and the actual viewing of videos. And I still need to interview Steve and Victoria. I think Steve's on the call now or in the video, the Zoom meeting. And then if I can, I want to interview someone from Tanzania as well. I want to get at least one. We have one in Spanish. I want to get one in Swahili. And we have plenty in English. So that's about it.
Okay.
Oh, Steve's coming in again now. I don't know, for some reason, I guess he got disconnected.
Okay, so another thing for Ms. Valentine can add it later when she gets in here. But yeah, so it's gonna be like a step process. Like, yes, you declare, then you definitely gonna meet virtually or meet Ms. Valentine, and then go through those questions that Mr. Siakabe was just saying right there. And then from there, then she's gonna ask you to watch certain videos, as I said, and then come back. And if you declare you see one there, then of course, Ms. Catherine Dudek is going to be working with the payment process, and this is what we're going to do. And then, of course, once you still committed to come, and then we're going to probably, I will talk to you and make sure ways that you can complete those payments. And if you have any questions in large scale of the medical mission, then definitely we'll be able to communicate. I want to make sure I meet with every single one of you before you go there, because I want to make sure your interest is what the organization needs. And of course we want to match, because when you're going to do this work, you're passionate about something, then definitely the organization also is passionate. So we want to make sure both interests are met so we can have a better experience, definitely.
Yeah, and then also Dr. Gwen and yourself, I'm not sure who else contributed, but I know that there is now a expectation sheet that will be given to the volunteer prior if they're interested, and and they'll say, hey, this is what the mission is about. It's about this, it's about that. These are the expectations. This is what your responsibilities are, what's expected. This is what it's going to be like. And then they'll have to sign off on that they clearly understand what the medical mission is about, and that's the purpose for them going on the medical mission.
Thank you, Mr. Siakabe. Yeah, so that was the next thing, and that characteristic of the global volunteer. For the person to join, what do you have or what do you need to meet? Those criteria to go in there. This has nothing to do with the professional expertise or something. No, it's just you as an individual who wants to volunteer. So it's gonna code mission, a code of conduct agreement. So there's like an items that are like 8 points for people to know that. If I can read it quickly, maybe 2 or 3 of them is like, one of them, you need to know that this is not a vacation. This is medical mission opportunity. We do things as a group, not as an individual. We don't cater on individual interests or private car or private hotel or whatever. We are not going to do those things. Of course, we're going to support you if you have any allergies and stuff. For those things, there's definitely. If you need maybe assistance for something, yes, we accommodate those things. But not this individualized interest that you want to go there and I want to do half of it or not. No, everything else is done as a group. All the payment, all these accommodations are done as a group, because when you do that, you get a group rate, which is discounted rate. If you do as an individual, you're going to pay more. So we try to keep the cost down, but we want to try to put you in a place that is safe and for you and all the volunteers that are going over there. So there's specific things that, Dr. Gwen, thank you very much for writing this. So then we're just gonna make sure we finalize, and then by the end of the year, end of this month, we're gonna make sure people who wants to show interest to join the mission, then yes, they will be able to read. I know you can't read this. They're able to read it and agree to it. So then at least if you agree you're coming, then at least you know what the expectation is. As I said, there will be specific links. So it's going to be exactly a straightforward recruitment process that every single person is going to go through. So it doesn't matter that, for example, Mrs. Christine Behuniak, she said she's going to help us to recruit people. Thank you. Yes. So whoever she brings in, they're going to follow the same process. And then so it might not be the same as if Mrs. Christian coming, because she's been there 3.5 times already. So she knows the process, and she's coming back because she's passionate and her interest matches the organization. And that's why she keeps coming. But anybody who is new, who have never been, first of all, to Tanzania, or never been out of the country, or never participated in any medical mission, they need to do that part. Even if you participate in other places, medical mission, but you've never gone to this medical mission, you're going to do the same process, because you want to make sure we standardize, everybody gets the same information. So then we make sure we meeting the goal of that medical mission. And that brings me to the C points. We want to make sure a number of the people who are coming, they have their own identified projects from the beginning. So when you sign up, we're going to give you a list of the projects that they're going to be there. You're going to say, I want to do this. I'm going to do this for 3 days. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to move from this position to that part. So then you know your schedule and how many hours in a day. And then so at least we want to make sure we're going to put enough time for people to relax and, you know, like stretch at the end of the day, so you can breathe fresh air from the ocean, the Indian Ocean. But you have the time to rest and then enjoy the food in Tanzania. Okay. Oh, any questions from that? Sorry. But there'll be more to come.
Yeah, it's Valentine. I think I heard. Are you back, Valentine?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, I had emailed you a few weeks back the list of all those questions that you guys generated. Did you get them?
I did.
Okay, good. Thanks. I should have followed up to see that you got them, but I guess I didn't. So, but thanks.
You're welcome.
I know probably part of it you were not in here, Ms. Barrington. We were talking about the upcoming medical mission recruitment process. Is there something else maybe you just want to summarize for a little, one sentence to whatever that you really think people need to know if they join in to the medical mission?
Yeah. Okay. So sorry everyone, I had to step away for a minute. But so in a nutshell, so what's going to happen is basically that anyone who wants to be recruited, they would have to be interviewed by me. And then after that, there's like an orientation that you would have to join. And after the orientation, you would have to basically explain your intake from the orientation to one of the executive board members, so that we know for sure that you really understand like your expectations, in which you would also have to sign the agreement to let you know exactly what is expected from you. And then from there, like what Dr. Gaboni just mentioned, you can choose which group that you're most passionate about, so that you can, so that you can focus on that group. Not saying that you can't help in any other groups, any other areas, but it would just be, you would just basically be held accountable for your focus within that area.
Excellent. Thank you. More to come, guys. I hear my friend Stella came. Good.
Yes, she is up now.
I know. She's like, I need to attend the meeting too. Okay. So speaking of the Qhsc information and profile, as I said, we are continuing to grow our organization. We want to make sure we can be seen and heard, and then we can impact our community here in the United States and in Tanzania and everywhere in the world, if we can. So thank you, Ms. Bree, for doing it, the design. And did you do with somebody else also?
Yes, he helped.
Yes, okay, so Mrs. Yeah. So thank you, both of you, for doing this. This is an excellent, yes. They took the logo and add, like the world theme behind it, because we do want to go everywhere where they will accept us. Let us go. So we do want all those caring hands to reach everybody who needs help. And so that first picture, I'm not sure if you can see my little cursor. So you can see that picture right there. It's encapsulated what exactly our organization is. We're just going to lay a hand to help others who are in need. So that is going to be on front of all the T-shirts. We were talking about the Qhsc members, so all the T-shirts are that. Same thing for the medical mission. It's going to have that in the front because that's going to be our almost logo and brand everywhere we do our documentation and advertisement. So on the back, on the back, you can see, because we are working with United States, Tanzania, and China as an organization. So if we were able to go to any other countries or continents, then this map can grow and to include everywhere we are able to go and do our work. And you can see the little plane there going around, because that's how we're going to get there. Otherwise, we can't swim all the way. Otherwise, we put somebody swimming there. So again, thank you, Ms. Bree and Ms. Yesi for doing this, but it was beautiful. We were so excited. Of course, the blue is always the water around it. And then the green, of course, is the, all those colors here matches the flag of Tanzania. So thank you for that vision. And it's going to be very, very useful. And so from now on, every time we wear these T-shirts, it's going to have that, and it's going to represent. And most of the time, I know there was discussion before that if we are going in each year, can we put the year there, like so to identify which year? So the discussion is still in progress, and some people are suggesting we can put the year on the, you know, just like one of the arms there. Some people be like, they don't want to put the year because then if they, I bought a ticket, so a T-shirt this year, I can wear it next year without to worry about the year. Or can we have something like a badge, you know, those little button, then the button can have a year for that year. So then at least if next year, then I just change the button, but because it's cheaper to change the button than actually buying the another T-shirt. So, and of course, we're going to try to get, as I said, a T-shirt with quality that can last multiple years. So thank you very much. And if anybody has anything to say, and thank Senorita Bree and Yesi.
Yes, thank you, Bree. Thank you, Yesi. I just wanted to say, I think that's a great idea, to have the button that has the year on it rather than the shirt, for the reason that we just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And I had something else I wanted to say. Let me let someone else speak, and maybe it'll come back to me. Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, just tell Stella I said I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
He said she's happy to know that.
I heard.
Okay, any other comments? Mrs. Christine? No?
I'm just listening. I'm trying to
Okay.
talking about that multitasking. I'm also baking Christmas cookies while I'm listening. So,
can you share after the meeting, please? We want those
sure.
cookies.
I'll pop them right in the mail.
Yes. Mr. DJ, Mr. Jones, any comment about the logo, front or back? Miss Leah? I know she doesn't have a mic yet.
No, the logo looks good.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jones. Oh, I can't hear you. I know you're talking, but I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay, I'll still
Oh, it went back again.
Okay. What about now? Is that better?
Yes, much better. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Okay. The logo has its own twang. It has its own the distinct person.
Okay. Good. Thank you. And the word haba and haba kujaza kibaba means like just a small, I mean, like there's few interpretation because that's the proverb in Swahili. So if you want to interpret in or translate in English, it'd be like just by doing small, everybody does a little bit at a time. So then if we combine all of us, we're going to do a big stuff. So that's just the phrase that since we started the organization, thanks to Mr. Siakabe, we suggested that haba na haba ujeza kibaba. So that's the part which we are going, because a little bit at a time, a little bit the things that we do, if you combine together, we're gonna do bigger stuff to impact the world. So that's the part that we're trying to do.
So
Okay.
the color, the colors. So the green represents the land, the water is for the blue, the black is for the people, and the yellow is for the sun, if I'm not mistaken.
Minerals, like the
Minerals. Oh, okay.
Yes. Mhm.
I remember what I wanted to say earlier. It's in reference to the shirts, the good quality that we're looking for.
Yes.
So there are these shirts that I buy for my son for school, and
Yes.
they're awesome because the color doesn't fade, it doesn't shrink, and as far as like when you wear it, like if you sweat, it doesn't. How can I explain it? So it's like
It doesn't show.
it's yeah,
it's cooling off.
it's a moisture wicking shirt.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah,
And it
moisture.
lasts a very long time. Like if it wasn't for my son who grew, naturally is growing up, I wouldn't even have to buy new shirts.
No, then that's the part which we need to know the material and stuff and where we can get in the bulk. So definitely, no, those are the idea that we want to hear. Thank you, Ms. Valentine. Yes, that's what we want to hear, because we want a quality T-shirt, not just I mean this one, yes, but like when in Tanzania we had our friends there at the Luther House help us to wash. So as soon as they start, like washing by hand, then the logos start breaking down, and then the actual T-shirt start fading. So we want to avoid those things because we want a T-shirt to be quality T-shirt, and then we can wear it. We might pay a little bit more. That's okay. But if we can pay a little bit more in the beginning, and then in the future, we don't have to keep buying 3, 4, 5, and then at least one each year, it will help to make them last longer.
Yep. And these shirts they're very easy to wash by hand.
Okay.
And they are stain resistant shirts.
Oh, perfect.
Are they dry fit?
Yeah, I think they're.
I think they're. I don't know. I don't want to say that all of them are, because I guess it depends on the brand or whatnot. I'm not sure. But I'll also mention I love these shirts. So like after you wash it, you let it hang dry and it dries quickly, or you can put in the dryer, but I mean that it's not really necessary to put in the dryer, but it hardly has any wrinkles. Like after washing it, you know how you take your clothes out the washer and then it's like all wrinkly? That doesn't really apply to these shirts.
You said two things that definitely we are applying to them, because remember, if you're wearing them, but we are outside, we are sweating. So if something that, like you, even if it's sweat, it doesn't, like stick on you or it doesn't show the stain. So, I mean, those are things that we want. So because we are going to be outside, and then of course it's direct sun. I mean, like if we know that the geography, that is under the equator, it's going to be direct sun. So we want something that we can withstand that. And then more likely people will be washing once or twice. So we don't want it to fade. We want the quality to stay there. So definitely that part is the area we can work on and try to come up. And then probably in the general meeting, we can give the update. And then also when we start getting the new people, new members, then we can be able to accommodate that. And then hopefully by then we already find somewhere where we can have, this where we get all the t-shirts. So if you're a new member, then you say, okay, go to this website and then order that t-shirt, and then choose your own size. So everything else is already set. You just choose your own size and then it should be shipped to you. Versus like come to us and then we ship back. So that's almost like shipping twice and adding more cost. But all that process is gonna come you get information exactly as soon as you start joining in.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Bree, can you talk?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No, so one of the things that we haven't mentioned, Dr. Gaboni and myself, in reference to the t-shirts is we are going to consider it's kind of similar to like the youth sports league. So like I give you an example, my children played basketball and for years, they ordered stuff and then the coach did this, or one of the coaches had his own t-shirt companies and all that stuff. But what has happened is a lot of these teams, and I think some of the organizations as well, they now have organizations or companies that they already have agreements with, and they have like a web page. And that web page has a store for that team or that school, and then parents or parents can go on there and then order what they need for the children. So what would happen is all the volunteer has to do is say, okay, you just go to this company, here's the link, and you can order 2 t-shirts for the trip, and then that company would then manufacture the t-shirts and then mail them out and stuff like that, because I know it was a lot of work that went into creating the last t-shirts. So we're trying to find a more standardized uniform where it's something that if you bought, let's say 2 or 3 of those t-shirts, you could use it for 2 years, 3 years, or whatever the case is. And that's why we talked about not having the numbers or the year on it, so that it would be something that is can be used for, because we're still trying to cut down costs, and of course we're trying to cut down labor. And then some of the equipment that we have, we could use that maybe to create little souvenirs or trinkets for members and stuff like that. So
Yes.
so if you have any ideas, or if you know of anything along those lines,
I mean, it depends what Dr. Gabon wants to do, because I know she was thinking about opening like a company online store, correct, in the future.
Yeah.
So if you go through like a separate t-shirt company, I guess whoever company you partnership with, that they would just order through that. Or if like you wanted someone to run a website store, and if Valentine has a friend that, you know, wants 3 t-shirts, and whoever's working on the company can be like, okay, I need to make 3 t-shirts. I know you guys have the equipment, and we could just make the t-shirts. It depends how you want to go about that process.
Yeah, so that process definitely depends, like what Mr. Sekabe was just saying, trying to manage the cost, but then get the best prices for the members. And then, yeah, so if by identify somebody, as you suggested, has that store, and then they start doing that part, and somebody just send them the sizes and then identify and then be shipped to them, that's fine. Or if we're going through, I don't know, just give an example, Amazon, and then Amazon, I mean, they do that already. So say, okay, I need a 2X or whatever, then they do that and ship it. So whatever we come up with, we see which one is the easier process, and also it's going to be more helpful for all of us to easy access and receiving the items, and we don't want to make it too complicated. So, I mean, we're still going to be working behind the scene to make sure wherever it is, anywhere in the country you are, then you should be able to get that easily without any problem. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So more to come. Okay, thank you guys. So the next part now also, which is going to help cover the rest of the cost, is, I mean, the fundraising, grants, and corporate sponsors. So we do ask QHSC friends and members, if you know there's an organization or offer grants, or institution that offer grants, or if we can collaborate or partner with them to do certain things, and then they put their advertisement through our organization, and then that's how they pay for whatever. If we put on a t-shirt, maybe after the, you know, like Carbon Hub on the back, and then underneath you put the corporate sponsor logo, that's okay. Because if they are supporting that year, then yes, we can put on their t-shirt, we can put on a website, we can put on a social media to thank them for what they're helping us, the organization, to achieve. So if you have an idea, or somebody knows somebody who has an organization, or yourself have an organization that can partner with us, and then we give use the corporate sponsor letter to identify what our needs for that year, and then that person is able to cover, or that organization is able to cover a portion of it or all of it, that's okay. So if you have an idea, we welcome those ideas, and thank you in advance, because I know when you're doing that, that means you help us to spread our words out there and accomplish the mission and vision of the organization. And still, we're going to be continue doing those individual fundraising. I know I always say, if somebody give me $5, somebody give me $1,000, someone give me $10,000, or even $1 million, I'm going to thank them the same. And I'm gonna, that, because the idea is the intent. That's what I'm appreciating more, because they could have chosen anywhere else, but they chose to give us. So we appreciate and we thank them from the beginning to end. And of course, if somebody has a corporate sponsor and then they're asking for, like the budget for the previous year. So those are the more documents can be given on the side to try and see, because some organization might want to know how much do you put in, how much did you spend, how did you even spend that much, and what did you accomplish? Because they want to make sure if they're giving you their money, you're not going to just go shopping. So we do have to comply with all the stuff. And of course, IRS is our best friend because they need to know every little cents you receive, where did you use it and how did you use it and where did it go? Did it go where you intended to go? And then so all those things we have to keep records, and we appreciate for all the people who are helping, raising funds, giving us ideas and grants to work on those opportunities so they can come and help the organization. So please, if you need any letter of corporate sponsor letters, let me know. Right now, we already started giving out for people who are helping us. So let me know, and then we can tailor the letter according to what the needs is, and then so you can go and share with the specific sponsors. Okay, so for the medical mission, we have a few activities. So the list including the Help Baby Breathe, which we did last year. Oh, sorry. This I feel like the year is already over. This past medical mission, and Dr. Msambichaka is the lead person for that area. And then so if people are interested in that, so this is just to work with the baby who is transitioning from being delivered to at least definitely the first hour of life. And then, of course, here in the United States, we call neonatal resuscitation. So that's the part for providers. So that's the part which in Tanzania, they do Help Baby Breathe. So if you're interested in, that's the area that you want to be there. So please join Dr. Msambichaka. And then, so the next program is the PPH, that's postpartum hemorrhage and thermoregulation, because postpartum hemorrhage, you're working with the moms who just delivered. And then, so that area is like to make sure mom does not bleed too much because she needs to be alive, keep her blood, and come take care of the baby. So that's the group also working with the thermoregulation to take care of that baby who comes out transitioning. And then the baby needs to stay nice and warm so they can eat and preserve their energy and grow. So on that area, as of now, Mrs. Bree and Ms. Valentines are the lead people. And then so when we come to time that you're joining us, you want specific that group, and then you join them with that group. So they will let us know how many people they need. And so it will reach a point that they say that group has 15 people and we only need 12. So then definitely you have to go back to the list and say, okay, can you go and do this project because this group has too many people and then this group does not have. So if people can share that role, what Ms. Valentine said, when you're focusing on one group, you can still help the other side if that's the area you are able to. So we're not going to say, okay, if you say thermoregulation, don't look at the other people. No. If you have a passion of 2 areas, that's okay. But still, if you're signing up for specific training, then you have to own up that area because it has to be counted as a facilitator on that area. The third area is anesthesia, which Dr. Gwen Randall, and they're going to be working with the anesthesia departments in Tanzania with those 4 hospitals. There's Muhimbili, Amana, Buguruni, and Mwananyamala. So those areas are, we have to try to identify what exactly each hospital they need, and then try to address and answer their concern. And then so Dr. Gwen Randall is going to work with Dr. Mlungu from Muhimbili. Ban area. So Mrs. Victoria Jones, we know she loves that area and I don't think anybody can change her mind. And so if you want to work with her, she works with all these kids and adults and work with the experiencing burn and also diabetics who are experiencing wound issues. So she works with anybody who, those areas. And if you, as a nurse or as a volunteer, you can work with her and you'll be able to give her a hand and thinking of the nutrition in that area, because of course, if somebody is experiencing burn, they're losing a lot of their tissues and skin. So they need to eat a good diet. So if you want to jump in and help her, that would be great. So join in and then she have more information to share with you. And then the school. So we still have sports to identify the lead person. There's few individuals who went last time. So we want to just make commitment that they want to be able to drive that area also and start running the area, which is fine. For the school also, we have dental hygiene and hand washing. We know that for these kids, definitely we need people to go and help them. So they'll be able to wash your hands, prevent diseases. And of course, the health promotion, that's the dental hygiene part. And then so Ms. Janet Musa is the lead person in there, and then she can get more other people to come and join to that area. And then if you're interested in that, but you might not be able to do like teaching dental hygiene and hand washing all 8 days. No, so it might be the first week or the second week. It depends on how the schedule. So then Ms. Janet Musa, can we go to another group and work? So those are things that once we itemize and we have the lead people in each group, then we can say dental hygiene and hand washing needs 8 people or 4 people, and then they're going to do this, their schedule. And then there's other times they can do something else. Nutrition project, Mrs. Christine Behuniak and Ms. Teresa Cooper, we know our lead volunteers to that area, and they've been working hard to try and get that program going. And they already know what exactly they need to do. They did an excellent job previously, so then they know where to start and where to continue with that part. So thank you very much. And anybody wants to work with Mrs. Christian Behuniak and Ms. Teresa, please join in. So the nutrition project in the school is still on those children, 830, including the teachers. But also, if we are blessed enough to have more funds and stuff, we can spill out to go to the hospital and help those kids who needs nutrition. You can help more areas that if we can afford it to do that. But so they're working on the ground. So if you know any organization that can support nutrition or food insecurity, so please let me know, or just reach out to Mrs. Christine Behoniak and then and Ms. Teresa Cooper to keep going with that project. Vision screening, we know we have Dr. Vanessa Stenville and Dr. Redempta from Tanzania. So they're both working tirelessly. They've already started working on one. They're going to be doing 2 areas now, one in the clinic and another one to come and see the teachers and parents of the Minazin Primary School. So there's more stuff coming in. They're already on their way. So let's continue supporting them. So people who wants to work with them, we need a lot of people, not only just the optometrists, students or the doctors, but we need a lot of hands-on because they're working with so many kids or so many people in the community. We need a lot of people in logistics. I know Mr. Steve Jones did an excellent job to capture every single child who came up there and adults. And then so right now there's more work, twice as much. So we might need more people to help Mr. Jones if we want to continue in that area and to help address or capture the information that we're going to need. And of course, we know a lot of adults need glasses. So Dr. Vanessa Stenville is going to work so hard to try and accommodate that by bringing more glasses and be able to make sure they're dispensing the glasses for people who needs them. Even now, she's working with some of the glasses, that prescription that she needed to come back to United States and get the prescription filled, and then she's going to ship them back to Tanzania, so then they'll be able to use that. So thank you very much, Dr. Vanessa Stenville, and thank you, Dr. Redempta, for working so hard to try and make sure you address, especially the adults who need those glasses. Otherwise, they won't be able to afford buying those glasses. One of the new programs that we're doing is sanitary napkin project. So this is like pads for the young girls who otherwise would not be able to go to school, which that's why it's happening right now, 5th, 6th, and 7th grade, when they have their period or menses or menstruation, they miss school because they don't have resources to take care of themselves. They cannot go to school if they're bleeding all over the place. Hygiene is a big deal, and lack of resources is a big deal. So then these girls are missing school, and the problem is if you're missing school every month, 3, 4, 5 days a month, I mean, you're going to be behind, and we don't want the girls to be behind, or also wants the girls to take care of themselves. Self-esteem also is going to be affected if you're walking around bleeding onto our own clothes. So we need to help them as much as we can. So Ms. Ann Schneider is one of the board of directors who is going to be working, the lead person on that project, and also Professor Hector George, one of the professors from South University. Also, she's working tirelessly, and she helped us quite a bit for the last medical mission. Thank you very much, Professor Hector George. And so they're going to tag team and start doing, continue doing that project. And I got the message 2 days ago, Professor Hector George already started collecting. People have started donating the pads, and then also we're working for the, yes, disposable pads, but we also want the reusable pad, which they can use longer than disposable. And so whatever the project that you want to come and help them, and this is going to be a big deal for the 5, 6, and 7 grades girls. So if you are passionate about that area, please, Even if, for example, you cannot go, but you're passionate, just let us know if you want to join in and help them collecting. All these supplies, we need to collect them before June, sorry, before May or at the end of the May. So during the first 2 weeks of June, we want to ship them before the medical mission. So we want to start early, because last medical mission, a lot of people who wanted to donate, they want to donate like in August and September, but then in September already left. So we said, no, next year we're going to start early. So that's why in January, we start sharing the projects now, so people have an idea when in January, when we start publicizing the projects, individual projects, so then we know if people at least have heard it twice, then they might say, okay, let me join in and help. Even if you don't want to go to Tanzania, that's okay. You can be the Qhsc friends or member and still help even if you're not going, because once we get those supplies and ship them, it was easier when we got there, because they came and delivered at the Luther house. We didn't have to do anything. They come right there where we were. So that was an excellent and less stress to all the volunteers. So we had to start sorting them out, but that's okay. We'll take that. And that's why the people from Tanzania, they're going to help us. If those items arrive before we get there, so they may have maybe a weekend before or 2-3 days before that, and help us sort out, because they're going to know the projects. So they're going to know, okay, so the pads are going to this school. So then they're going to help us to sort up. So when we come in, we just try to make sure every morning we just take what we need and it's already organized and helpful. So then definitely thank you for the people from Tanzania, especially for coming in the meeting to at least to hear what is happening. And we're going to ask for your help so we can get these things done easily and get more time to visit and catch up with people from Tanzania. So if there's other area that needs more help, then we can address for the coming mission. So, and then of course, when we're doing the shipping, we have to be able to try and raise funds also to help pay for the shipping. But those are things that we appreciate all the people, all the volunteers, all the donors who come and say, oh, I can help pay for some of the part of the shipping. So we want those donors who are willing to help us to do that, and then just share the words. Any comments, questions about this area? If something is not clear, maybe.
No.
I'm sorry, I'm on the cell phone, so I see your page, but I can't really see it. I can't see all the details on it. And I know that you had a section on there for, I guess, community service activities in the United States. Is that on this page here, or is that in a different part of the agenda?
Next.
Okay.
It's coming.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Asante.
Yeah, so this number 5 was just the thing for the next medical mission in Tanzania, yes. So the last thing for, Khadija, go ahead.
And I was asking, so
Yes.
in the part where we look for funds or we attempt to do that, do we have something like a document that elaborates what we do and all the projects so that it's easier to approach people?
Yes, those are the we call a corporate letter sponsors. Yes, so it says what we did, what we are going to do. So it depends on what you do the fundraising for. So let's say you want to work with the Help Baby Breathe, and then so if you go, then the corporate letter sponsor is going to be geared to specific things for the postpartum hemorrhage. So we don't want to add all 7 things there, because if people, you are going to ask, let's say, the hospital, the OBGYN clinic, you're not going to ask them about the school supply. They're going to be like, oh, I'm not interested. So if we are going to work on the postpartum hemorrhage group, we're going to give you the letter that details what do we do for the postpartum hemorrhage group, what do we need, the supplies and items that we've done. We've done use the NSCG. These are the training we're going to do. We need these items to do the training, and we need the money to buy the pad, for example, for the pregnant women or moms who just delivered. So the letter is going to itemize that and how much we think we need for that time. And then so when you take that letter to take to the people, then yes, it's going to identify the project that you are thinking. So when you are asking, for example, for the letter, you should have something in your mind that which funds you want to help. But if you want the funds just to help the whole medical mission, then yes, there's another letter that is just itemize things and say, okay, as a medical mission, we were able to do this, we raised this much we spent this much. These are the projects that, why did we choose those projects? And then, so that part also is there, and just a few pictures of what we had from the previous medical mission. So, because there's some people who wants just to fund it, to support the medical mission in general, like a function of the medical mission, logistic or pay here, something like that, or shipping. So if that's what you are asking funds to help the medical mission in general, then yes, the letter is going to address that. If you are specifically focusing on the project, then we are going to do for specific project. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I think I would like the general one so that someone
Okay.
can choose what they want to help in.
Okay. No, that's fine. Then yes, we can do that. Yes. We can talk afterward, and then I can give you the letter, general letter, which is just give an overview for what we are doing in general, and then if they can becoming part of the corporate sponsor, and then there's different levels of the sponsorship there. So if they want to be Tanzanite Gym, which that's what we call our sponsors, and then different levels, yeah, we can do that.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
I have a question also.
Yes.
Is there going to be shipping this year?
Yes.
So we can ship materials?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we have, so we want to be collecting stuff by at least end of May, and then the second week of June, we want to ship it. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And
Okay,
this time,
sorry, go ahead.
This time we want to be able to collect the donations purposefully for each project versus just collecting any of the leftovers. Like people, either they are close to expire or anything like that. As long as if they fit on specific project, because remember, we do pay for the shipment. So we want to make sure when we ship and take it to Tanzania, it can be used specifically for certain areas. Let's say we are not doing anything about postpartum hemorrhage, and then we just collect the pads. And then we go and give it them, but they really did not need the postpartum pads. So then we could have specifically maybe focused on the baby breathe, buying the mannequin for training and something like that, because those are the things that they need. So that's why we're going to try, and we're putting lead people in each project to make sure if we are raising funds or we're collecting donations, it can fit on any of those projects to make sure we are efficiently using the donated items so they can be used in Tanzania versus becoming just another waste place and collecting dust because they're not going to use it. What did you want to say, Mr. Siakabe?
Oh, no, it's just to kind of go back to what Khadijah was saying. Did we give someone a letter? Did we give Dina a letter last year or someone, or we didn't get around to? We did. Okay, good.
We did. Yeah, Dr. Dina Komakoma, we did. And she took it to the hospital, and then they were able to get us food.
Yes. No, that's excellent. I like it. I love it.
Yes. So those are things that helps. If people, I mean, like, as I said, the Haba na Haba, if every one of us in the group, Qhsc friends and members, do a little bit, even if it's like $100 raise, birthday, Facebook birthday event, you raise $100, $150, that is a lot of money that we did not have. So don't feel like, okay, oh, I don't think I have enough friends. No, even if you get 2 or 3 friends, that's okay. Today you're going to start that, but maybe when they start seeing you doing a lot in the organization, then they see you how passionate you are. Then next time they might say, okay, let me help you a little bit more. And that's how you start. And that's why I said, even if we get the bigger grants, we still need to respect and thank the individual donors, because majority of these organizations are run by individual donors. That person who give you $5, remember, they could have done something else with that $5, but they give it to you because they believe on you. So next time when they have more, they're going to give you more. But you have to respect and appreciate that part. The same thing, if somebody give you $1,000 today, they appreciate that you're doing whatever, that's fine. So next time, if they have more and they see what you're doing with that money they give you, they're going to give you more. So we always have to appreciate people, the intent for them to help us, because that's the big deal, because they could have done anything else and you would have never known. So we always have to be grateful and thankful. Okay, so the last part for the medical mission, of course, when we were there, we wanted people to be acculturated to their Tanzanian life. So we're working so hard, 4 days on and maybe 2 days off and then 4 days on again. So definitely we want to be able to rest. So the discussion right now is, I get people who are texting me, they want to go to Zanzibar and enjoy the Indian Ocean again. So few options that are flying around over there. So we will come up with it. Well, as soon as we start recruiting, it's going to be made finalized, because we have to be able to figure out the prices too. So staying there 1 day, staying there 2 days, the prices and the cost might be different. So we need to be able to identify if it's possible. And when people are signing up, they need to know, okay, this is what area we're going to do, and this is how much money we're paying for the safari, or just a little break vacation. And so all those things are going to be included. So if you have an interest, share it now before we finalize it. Some people wants to go hiking. Yeah. Okay. Last thing. So possible for US volunteering opportunities. Yeah, so we do have a newest board of directors, Ms. Janet Musa, and she's a community liaison. So she's going to try to help us with some opportunity here at Palm Beach County and here in the United States. So if you have an opportunity or something that you think Qhsc can benefit or can impact our community, just let us know, so then we know who to contact and how to communicate with that part. So we're still working on to try and identify a project that we can do, and then it was something that may be easily we can recruit people easy to go and do in the community or participate to the already organization that is doing something, so we can join in. And then we probably figure out maybe a couple of days and go and work with that project. So just let us know the area we know, the better, so we can put in our schedule to know, okay, starting January, what exactly can we do? And then so people, for majority of people, are working, so then they know to know ahead of time, so they can schedule. Is Saturday better, is Sunday better, or maybe middle of the week during the in the evening, is it better? So all those things have to be identified, which is going to recruit most of the people. And hopefully by then we have our t-shirts, right, Ms. Bree? And then you'll be able to wear these brand new t-shirts. So those are things that we are working on it right now. So things like just health screening for adults and children, that's fine. Anything that, there's a lot of communities that do not have, people in the community do not have access to just a simple screening, even blood pressure screening. So those are things that we need to be able to join in and participate and help our community to make it sure it's healthier. Any comment, questions? Hybrids, guests?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, do you want to mention to them about Cross Ministries?
Go ahead.
Oh no, you can go ahead.
There's another organization here. The lead person is Reverend Juanita. She works with Cross Ministries and other churches and organizations here at Palm Beach County, and they work to feed the homeless and prepare food or packaging the food, and then deliver to the identify individuals who needs help. And usually that programs also during the holiday, they do a lot of stuff, because some of their children who goes to school, they get their meal from school. So now if it's the school is closed, they don't have anywhere else to get their meals. So that's the part which we encourage volunteers and to go and help package the meals and then go and deliver for those families. And so they usually have a specific person who deliver those meals. So volunteers usually comes and help packaging that part, or people bring the donation to the pantries, and then specific days are assigned to go and identify which area needs what type of food, and then somebody comes and deliver them. They also do what they call gleaning. So these the specific dates. People who have farms, they have all the vegetables and stuff, and then so they harvest whatever they need and whatever is left in the field, and then volunteer goes and try to pick on it to try and see if we can salvage some vegetables and stuff. So when they're doing those food pantry for the homeless or people who needs food, then they can come and either cook the food for those individuals or deliver the food to those individuals who needs some vegetables in their diet. So it's a big area here, especially for Palm Beach County. I didn't know that much, but it's a big area that needs help. And if Qhsc can participate and help the community, it'll be a great addition to our community, because we always try to find the things that we can do in the community. So if we can help, already the project is already ongoing, so the Qhsc just jump in and help and bring more volunteers, that would be great. And also they have an opportunity to do health screening, because remember, if you have a homeless population, chances is there's a lot of lack of access to healthcare. So if we can go and do, maybe they're coming to get their food and then you do blood pressure screening or something like that. So those are the simple things that we can do. And because of a healthcare background, but also it doesn't have to be somebody only in the healthcare. Anybody can go and help. You can go and serve meals, which you don't need any profession to do that. So there's a lot of stuff, that opportunity that is there. And Mr. Siakabe is working on that part.
I was going to say, so I know, so when we initially spoke with Reverend Juanita, I think I was looking at it like long-term, and I think Dr. Gaboni was looking at it long-term, and she's ready to pull the trigger. So was, I think, considering maybe doing something for this holiday season, but we were not sure if there were any members who might be available or who would be interested in doing it on short notice like that. So, but if anybody's interested, then we could work on something like that as well. And then the opportunity will always be there to work with Cross Ministries. They have, I think it's about, I forgot how many pantries or locations where they distribute food. They have a food warehouse in Lake Worth. I guess if you live in West Palm Beach, then you're familiar with that area. But as Dr. Gaboni said, the number of people who are food insecure or need food, I was shocked myself when I found out just within Palm Beach County how many it is. I think this year alone, they're about to hit 100,000, and they're not the only organization that does it either. It's a big global problem right now.
So I have a statement from their Cross Ministry. So their mission is to save the hungry in Palm Beach and Martin counties through community collaborations. So this past the year 2021, from January to December 31st, they had 75,709 individuals receive food from the 7 food pantries. 30% of them were children and 12% were seniors. And then, so they saved 5,399 new individuals every meal. And then they had 917,000 pounds of food distributed to families and individuals. That was for the year 2021. I mean, they keep going, all this stuff. So there's so many things that in our own Cross Ministries, we can help in the Palm Beach County. There's so many things up there. But so people who, I know Miss Janet is volunteer, Senorita Bree is ready to go today. And I know Miss Valentine also said she could do so. I mean, also people can be asked and recruited from different areas. And anybody who is going to be watching this video and they're interested in, who lives in Florida and wants to do it, or even if you live somewhere else and the dates that we post, they're able to come and do it, you're welcome. So those are things that we are working to try and help our community here and globally. Any questions about the possible volunteering opportunities?
Hongera sana, Dr. Addy.
Okay. Any questions, Bree? Valentine? Khadija?
No, ma'am.
No, I have no.
Okay. Okay, so the last thing, and you guys, I'll let you go. So this is just an update from what we did for the medical mission. So healthcare workers training, when we trained almost 450 for both Help Baby Breathe and postpartum hemorrhage. One of the people who attended the training from the Amana Hospital, that's the fourth hospital. So they're already working on implementing or sharing the knowledge that they had from the training with their staff, postpartum hemorrhage and the NSG, implementation of the NSG. So they're still working on that part. And then they have some classes in January and February. So people who have been working with postpartum hemorrhage and NSG, they're also willing to come and help them. When we start doing those training in January with Amana, please join in and be able to share the training techniques and stuff. So then they need to be able to continue learning. We might have started having those training in January and February, and then continue scheduling as needed. And I know Ms. Bree already agreed to help run those training, but so just to be able to offer those training. Remember last time before we went to the medical mission, we were doing a lot of training like every 2 weeks. So this time at least Ms. Bree is going to try and help me. So I don't have to be on all the training. So Ms. Bree is going to help me. So we're going to try and work on the schedule. We're going to publicize that schedule ahead of time. So anybody who wants to join in and be able to participate and host the meeting, then you can host a meeting with Ms. Bree, that's fine. And hosting the meeting, for example, is just say, you're going to set up the account is already set up. You set up the meetings and then people come in and we just run. The people who are facilitating the meeting, people who are presenting, they can take over and continue with whatever they're teaching. But the other person is just going to be able to be a logistic part, admitting people and make sure they know what, if there's any issues, they need to be able to run the slides, that's fine. So those are the things that if you are actively participating in the organization, it will work. You're not going to be by yourself. So, I mean, Bree has been with me for a while, running and participating and allowing people to come in. And now she has an interest of be able to organize this training. And I thank her for that, because now it's going to free me to do other stuff, which I do need to be doing. So, as I said, anybody who's either QHSC members or volunteer wants to be able to participate, but we're going to try to have those training every month. And if we have specific topics identified, we can have even every other week. And then so the more you people who are interested in doing that part, the more time also Bree will be able to work with another person. And then also if there's some days that she might not be able to do it, then somebody else can cover. So we make sure we offer a certain day that it will help to be consistent with people in Tanzania, because once they have that day and time set for them, it's going to be easier and it's going to increase consistency. And hopefully by the next time we go to the medical mission, it's going to allow them to have that background before we show up. And this time the medical mission is going to be different in a sense that the way we disseminate this content, we want to be able to go inside the hospitals. So each hospital is going to get there 2 or 3 days, and the healthcare workers are going to be in there actually helping them, consulting right there side by side. So if we have a postpartum hemorrhage patient, they're taking care of that patient, then we can be there also helping them in a sense that, or guiding them or discussing them things that we are doing up here to help with postpartum hemorrhage, and then they can be able to practice over there. We bring the resources to try and help at that area, and then so we'll be able to do like a blood pressure, this and this, and so we guide them as they work on their patient, and that's what we want, because that's our goal. That's the consulting part, because we have to be there when they're doing it. For example, for Dr. Gwen, she has to be in the OR observing what they're doing, and then be able to communicate with them. If you're using this medication, have you tried this part, and then try this discussion. What can you use instead of this part? What is the efficient way of accomplishing that? The same thing for Help Baby Breathe. This baby's born by C-section, okay, the baby's struggling. We have done A, B, C, D. Can you try and do that part? Does it work? Does it help that baby? I mean, all those things, we need to be able to do that. Same thing for the school. The teachers, you're talking to the teachers, like what Mrs. Christine Behoniak, she did an excellent job with Miss Teresa. Go in the class and work with the teacher. So maybe right now, work with the teacher, let the teacher teach that class and see how it is. So those are things that we need to be able to impact right in there. So when we leave, they can continue doing whatever they're supposed to be doing, and then until we come back again. So we need to prepare them from the beginning, and then when we get there, we do specific training in individual hospitals. So that the nurses and the doctors can get an opportunity to ask those questions right then and there when they're providing care. And that is going to leave a lasting impact versus just the training in the class, and then everybody at the end of the day buy, and that's it. Yes, Mr. Siakabe.
Yeah, I might have missed it. But in terms of the list of projects that we're working on for next year, did it include thermal regulation?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, I might have missed it then. Yeah, it was just.
It's right there, number 2, postpartum hemorrhage and thermoregulation by Mrs. Bree Freeman and Mrs. Valentine Dantes.
Okay, all right,
Yes.
sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah, because that group goes together since they're doing postpartum hemorrhage. You're working with a mom who just delivered, because you're going to teach them fundal massage, pads changing. This is how, what are the symptoms, clinical finding. With the mom complaining about this, did you address that? Did you figure this part before she gets out of bed, before she falls? Have you tried this medication? Have you tried that? And then when the mom is stable, let's go to the baby. How is the baby doing? Baby came out. Is the baby can keep their temperature? What do you need to do? How can you bundle that baby up? How often do you feed the baby? How many diapers the baby's peeing? So all those things, you're working with the same population right there on the bedside of the patient. So that's why we pair them, postpartum hemorrhage and the thermoregulation. Because we want that mom to see their babies when they're taken care of, because she is the one who's going to be taking care of that baby when she goes home with that baby. If it's family members, great, put them to training also, so they can see that they have to keep up the temperature. Because sometimes we have an assumption that in Dar es Salaam is hot, so baby can be exposed. But Miss Bree will tell you there's 4 ways of that baby to lose heat. She can teach you. So the draft and all this stuff, even if the sun is out there, the baby can get cold. So we still need to bundle them up. And then the mom needs to be taught hot temperature is the best thermoregulation that baby. That's why we do skin to skin. So, but that's specific for that area. Thank you for your question.
Kubali.
So any other questions, guys? So right now I just open up for everybody. If you have any questions, comments.
I have a question.
Yes.
And maybe I'm thinking too far ahead because I'm excited about the next medical mission. But you know how we kind of had 4 stations. We had the NASG, postpartum hemorrhage case study, and then what else did we have? We had another one. But you know how for the blood pressures, it was kind of lax. They didn't really learn. What if, and I'll talk to Miss Valentine to see if she agrees, but maybe we can do a separate section for the blood pressure instead of trying to incorporate it, because the NASG is just so much, there's so much going on, but that way we know that they know how to take it. So when they say, oh, every 15, 20 minutes, this is what I have to do, but could I put like an extra table to make sure that they even know how to do the blood pressure? Or is it too much?
No, it's needed to be there. And then also this time, because remember, if we're gonna have a small audience, so maybe in each unit, you might have 4 or 5 nurses. So if we have the NSG there, put somebody on, and then actually wait for the 15 minutes. So that means somebody actually have to take that blood pressure. Because we were trying to do that. We were, remember when we started the training, the first day was already pushed back because we started late. So we had to scream a lot of stuff, and then we can start rushing through it. And then we didn't have that 15 minutes, because actually when you're doing the NASG garments, you have to wait that 15 minutes. So people can have that visual and the length of the time that they need to wait. While you are waiting, you need to do the assessment, because that's one of the assessment is the blood pressure. And the patient is awake. Can they talk to you? Are they coherent? Are they losing more than necessary? But some of them we're just going to be quiet. We didn't get the chance to give them that 15 minutes visual and practical way of practicing how to take care of that NSG. So when we are individual hospital, individual unit, you're going to have that audience because they're going to be right there. And then so put that somebody in there, and then yes, take the blood pressure. So everybody's that 15 minutes, somebody's going to be counting. 2 or 3 people can practice to do that blood pressure. Yes. Okay. So it's going to be in there because we want to make sure, okay, and then sometimes you can do the blood pressure, say, oh, it's 60/40. So they need to be able to say, oh, no, put it back, don't take it out. Yes. So we didn't, yeah, I agree with you during the training because we had that just 2 hours allotted. But if you're already late, half an hour, you have to do everything is in an hour and a half. You're gonna catch some of the things in the middle, but that's the downfall of rushing and working with a time schedule. But
Right.
this time we're gonna have more time in individual unit, yes.
Okay, thank you.
And it's a very important part because blood pressure is one of the indicators to tell us if that person is is losing so much blood that they don't have enough volume in the system that we need to fix it.
Yeah,
So-
and a lot of them didn't know how to properly take it, so.
Yeah. So, and we did have the blood pressure cuffs. So definitely we're gonna do the same thing. We had, I think, like 10 of them. No, I think 20, 10 and 10 for each hospital, yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, so we do the same thing. If you're going to different hospital, we're gonna have those supplies. That's the part of the leaders on that group. We have to have supplies you need, things that you have, we have to get them before we go there, and then to make sure when we get there. Because remember, you're gonna be the expert on that area to say that if you in each hospital you go, you're gonna be doing that 8 times. So more likely you're gonna be able to know that your routine and how you do it. Each unit do twice, then yeah, you are golden that time. You know exactly how it is. Mr. Siakabe, you wanted to say something?
No, I was just gonna say that was an excellent suggestion by Muguzi Bree.
Yes. Any other suggestion? Thank you. Those are suggestions that it helps to make the training better and to make sure whatever we are intending to do, that's what we do and what the people from Tanzania gets. So we want to make sure it's beneficial. We don't want to just go and do a photo up and just say, oh yeah, we are doing this and that's it. No, we want to make sure when we leave, they have something to practice on and help the patients. Anything else? Yeah, I know Bree is ready for the medical mission, but anything else, Miss Valentine? Are you ready?
I'm ready. I was ready last year, even though I couldn't go.
You could go with your little band of joy, but you chose not to. No, just kidding. Yeah. Hadija, any questions, comments?
No questions.
Good. We are looking forward to put you to work again. I know last time you did help with postpartum hemorrhage too. I know you started with the help baby breathe, but then we stole you. So this time also, wherever you are going to be,
I'm
that's fine.
excited.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Yes. So this time, yeah, wherever you decide to go, that's fine. We take you. Mrs. Christine Behuniak, any final thoughts, questions, comments?
No. I just can't wait to get back and get this nutrition program going and growing, and I'm really excited about it.
Good. And just to give you an update, I don't know if you remember last year, Ms. Valentine and I work on the grant from the Chick-fil-A.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was taking a while because their first decision was in December, which we did get last week. Unfortunately, we did not be selected, and they said we can apply again. So their application takes almost 9 months to get the initial. Yeah, so even if we apply now, it's still going to be for the 2024, which is fine. So if there's, we know the grant process is so long, so we can start applying now for 2024. If we are lucky enough and being selected, then we'll be able to do that and help, you know. So that I think that we're working for now, yeah.
We're going to need a lot of grants.
I know, we do. So I'm hoping anybody out there who is going to be listening, please help us, join us, so we can go and feed these children. The children were so happy, although we fed them for 9 days. They were so happy. And according to one of the teachers, Ms. Clara, and she said, for those that only the first day had the fewer students, but the second to the 9th day, they have a full attendance. The children came from everywhere just to make sure that they come to school. So it was a blessing to do that and to see that if we can help just a small part of their day to be able to give them something to eat so they'll be able to go and learn. And then, so if we can contribute to that part, we do need to do that and help them so they can learn. I mean, they can eat and be fed and then go and learn. And of course, they appreciated their sports also. They were looking forward to playing the games and stuff. And but unfortunately, we only had 9 days, and that's it.
Well, that's what I'm thinking too. Even if we don't get the grants until 24, we can always increase it, do what we can with what we get this year. So hopefully it'll be more than 9 days worth.
I'm praying for that, definitely. In fact, we raised a great point, because remember when we did this past medical mission, it was like a piloting because we wanted to know the logistic. So we know it works now because we were able to know, like, this is how I communicated with Mwalimu Mkuu. This is how I communicated with the selected person who was receiving the money. This is how I communicated with the people. They bought the food and bring to the people who can cook. And you guys went and look where they're cooking the food. And this is how they distribute the food to the children. You know, okay, those are the things that we know for sure it works. So now we do need to find money to try and make it in a bigger scale. So if we can't do the whole year, let's do 6 months, 3 months, 2 months. That's fine. Whatever we can. I mean, yeah, whatever we can. So, and I believe if we start early, we can get a good amount and be able to help these kids. Yes.
Right.
Haba na haba hujaza kibaba.
Exactly.
Yes. No, that's true. I mean, because remember, this is the project we went to towards the end. I think the last month and a half, that's how we were able to get our friends from Cliff Bar matching the donation and give us a little boost there. And then, so if we started the early and find more matching donors, so we'll be able to get there. And as I said, a full month, it will be a blessing, or definitely 6 months, it will be like jumping up for joy. A year will be an ideal, but we're getting there slowly.
And one other thing too, I know we're running out of time, but I still think that the water, the hydration, I think that was just so important. And it may seem like something that's really simple, but that helps a lot. And if the children have those bottles, I was going to say kids, but you've had an effect on me, so I won't say kids. But if the children have those bottles for a few months or whatever, and they're still hydrating long past the time that we're there, that's so important. I mean, it's like, for me as an older person, all I'm ever hearing from these doctors is hydrate, drink more water. You got to drink more water. I'm like, I wish I could.
No, but I agree. Yes, they were excited and have their bottle of water with the logo. So that was a very good testimony of showing them that hydration is important, because you can talk about, as you said, the doctors can talk about it, the nurses can talk about it, the teacher can talk about it, but if you don't give them physical things that remind them water is important, they're not going to do that. And if the kids, yes, their body is going to adjust to work in the dehydrated mode. They're going to run the stand unless they faint, unfortunately. So we don't want them to get that. We want them to be hydrated. And thank God they have at least tap water there to be able to drink and fill out their bottles and then go back to the class. So, I mean, it was a good project, and definitely when we continue with the nutrition, that is going to be next week, especially if we're doing the sports. The hydration is tied on the sports. And then, of course, for nutrition purposes, yes, if you're eating, you need to drink water. So that was great. Okay. Mr. Jones. What did you want to say?
No, if Mr. Jones is going to speak, I yield.
Mr. Jones?
Hello. I'm here.
Yes. We're going to ask you to close it with a prayer. Did you want to say something before he can finish his up?
No, that's it.
Mr. Jones, you are able to close for prayer? We are grateful.
Yes, I am. Are you ready to close it right now?
Yes, please.
Sound good. Hey, I like everything that everybody's doing right now, and all the preliminary things you're putting in place and letting everybody know where they're going to be operating. and the specific jobs and duties and responsibilities everyone have. I think that's all that's great. And that's going to give us the opportunity to be ahead of the game this year, even more than last year, year before last. Now, if our hearts and minds are clear, we're getting ready to go to the throne of grace. Oh, Father God, in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, we just come before you right now in a special way. We ask you to thank and bless each and every one that's on this line in a special way, oh God. Whatever they have need of, oh God, we ask you to provide it for them, oh God. We ask you to provide for this mission, oh God, the funding that is needed, oh God, the people that will be dedicated and needed for to make this mission a success, oh God. We ask you to provide this year, oh God, and even in the years to come. And God, in everything that we have, we're trying to do, oh God, send the right people. Send the right people, the people who will be dedicated and concentrated, oh God, with excellence, one who, God, has a heart to do the right thing, a heart for that particular ministry, a heart for their particular project. We ask you to do this, oh God, and let these transitions that we're going through be smooth as we go to our hospitals and our schools, oh God, and even our transportation and sending things over and over there to get, supplies and things over there. Let us be able to gather those things, oh God, with ease this year and give us abundance that we may go forth and do your will. This we ask in our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen.
I feel the blessing. No, we appreciate, thank you very much for giving us peace of mind and clear paths. Definitely, we do want people who are dedicated and wants to do God's will, and people who wants to help the communities, because we all want to pay forward. So whatever God has blessed us with, we want to be able to do it and help others. So, and that has nothing to do with specific religion or anything else like that. So we welcome all people who wants to help others, and that's the biggest message I have for everybody else. So anybody, if there's nobody wants to say anything, final thought and stuff like that, we are going to close the meeting. Going once, going twice. Bye guys. Have a blessed Saturday. We'll see you next year.
Take
Bye,
care.
Annie.
Awesome.
Have
Have a wonderful
Yes.
weekend. Blessed holiday.
Thank you.
Look
Happy
at
holidays, everybody. Peace.
Steve got my jacket.
Uh-oh.